Hey guys, time for my review of New Japan's latest internet pay-per-view, Wrestling Dontaku 2013. So we start off with a pre-show match, an 8-man tag team match. Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, Jado, and Gato against Yuji Nagata, Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask 4, and Maximo. Maximo and Jado start off the match. Now, for those of you that have never heard of Maximo, he is a Mexican wrestler. He wrestles in the CMLL promotion, and he is the gay wrestler. That's his gimmick. I'm not sure if he's actually gay, but he actually pulls it off pretty good. So we get our comedy moment a couple of minutes into the match. He kisses Jado. He tries to kiss the other members of the opposing team, but they don't want any part of it. For the most part, this match is just there. You know, I mean, it's not anything against the 8 guys that were in the match. It's just there. So, the end of the match, Jushin Thunder Liger hits the Luthez press on Gato, gets the 3 count and the win. You heard me right. Somebody won a match with the Luthez press. Probably been a long time since somebody won the match with that. So how does Liger's team celebrate the victory? By Maximo giving a kiss to the referee and all of his teammates. That's the way you do it. Alright, now we go to the main show. Our first match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title on the line as Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov challenged Kushida and Alex Shelley. Before the match, Kozlov sings his rendition of the Russian national anthem. And then he and Romero try a sneak attack on Kushida and Shelley, but that backfires on them. After they're sent to the floor, Kushida and Shelley hit a double dive over the top rope, landing on both men. Looked pretty good. And then the first 5 minutes or so of the match, Kushida and Shelley take control. And then after that, Romero and Kozlov take control of the match. The end of the bout, Romero hits a springboard doomsday device onto Kushida. Only gets a 2 count, though. And then Kozlov picks up Kushida onto his shoulders. Romero hits a knee drop onto Kushida's throat. Gets the 3 count. Romero and Kozlov win. They are the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Then we get a video package. Very rare to get a video package in the second match of your pay-per-view. But this is actually pretty cool. This is pretty well done. It's the breakup of Apollo 55, Prince Devitt, and Ryusuke Taguchi. Basically, Prince Devitt breaking the team up, and then Bad Luck Fale, his bodyguard comes, and this leads to this match, the tag match. Now, Prince Devitt rides on the shoulders of Bad Luck Fale, and this is pretty cool. Devitt has a jacket on, just like Chris Jericho's lighted jacket, but on the back of the jacket, he has the letters RNR on the back for rock and roll. And that was pretty cool. You know, that was a pretty cool looking jacket. So, we get the match. This is just a one-sided match. And this match sort of disappointed me. I thought between Taguchi and Devitt being together for so long as a team, and then having a couple of matches against each other, I thought this tag match was going to be good. This match disappointed me. But I liked how Bad Luck Fale came off as a monster, wrestler. He's somewhat limited, but he looked good. The end of the match, he grabs Captain New Japan. He picks him up for a choke slam, and he hits him with the Asian spike. And Devitt covers him to get the 3 count in the victory. Devitt and Fale win that match. Then we go to the back where Minoru Suzuki is interviewed. That's as much as I'm going to say because I don't understand Japanese. Now, the next match. And this is, for me, this is where the show starts to get good. IWGP Tag Team titles on the line, a 4-corner match. Let me tell you who the teams are. Toru Yano and Takashi Iizuka. Manabu Nakanishi and Strongman. Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima, Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Now, like I said, this is where the show starts to get good, in my opinion. Because during the introduction of Yano and Iizuka, their head announcer, like the camera zoomed into him, he's scared to death of Iizuka. And for those of you that don't know this gimmick, the gimmick is every time Iizuka comes to the ring, he goes after the announcer. For some reason, he just likes to go after him. Well, during the introductions of the teams, Iizuka goes after the ring announcer, or goes after the commentator. Well, Nakanishi comes up from behind, he attacks Iizuka, and this is how the match begins. So during Tenzan and Kojima's introduction, this is happening. The other two wrestlers are fighting each other, and then Archer and Smith Jr., they come out, and we get this match. It's an entertaining match. It's a good match. Basically, one fall to a finish. No tags pretty much were needed in this match. There were many times in this match where you thought each team could win the match. Like, when Archer and Smith, when they hit that full Nelson powerbomb, you think, okay, they got this match, but they don't. And then you got Yano and Iizuka. After they're cheating, you think, okay, they've got this match, they've got it won. But then you got Nakanishi and Strongman. You think, okay, they've got the power, they're going to win this match. And then Tenzan and Kojima, they got all this going, they're going to win. So the end of the match, Kojima hits a lariat on Strongman, gets the 3 count. Tenzan and Kojima are once again IWGP Tag Team Champions. And this actually is a good storyline for 2 reasons. Number 1, neither Lance Archer or Davey Boy Smith Jr. got pinned. So that way you can do an angle where, they say, we never got pinned, we should still be the champions. And then reason number 2, this could end up being a good angle, is Archer and Smith are the NWA World Tag Team Champions. You could do a storyline there saying, we're the better team, we got the better belt, So if they wanted to do a match where it's title for title, if they wanted to, they could. If they don't, it's okay, I won't be disappointed. So we go to the back again. Last time we go to the back, Kazuchika Okada is getting interviewed, and that's that. The next match is the Never Openweight title. Now, for those of you that have never heard of Never, the promotion, not the word. We've all heard that word. It's basically the sister promotion of New Japan, basically. So the match is Tomoaki Hanma challenging Masato Tanaka for the Openweight title. Hell of a match. This was probably the 3rd or 4th, I'd probably say the 4th best match on the show. I'll put it there. And that's saying a lot. So, after they try a collar and elbow tie-up, they chop each other for about 45 seconds to a minute. And then Tanaka, he picks up this table, and he throws it. And I swear to God, you gotta see this to believe it. Hanma's head goes through the table. Like, there's this hole, like, this big on the table, and Hanma's like, and it's just incredible. I've never seen anybody go through a table, like that head first, where their forehead's just right there. And then Tanaka hit a splash that sent Hanma through the table, and then the kendo stick. This was just a good match, nothing technical. It was just a good match all around. The end of the match comes when Tanaka hits Fusion D on Hanma, gets the 3 count, still the Openweight champion. Then we go to our next match, Yujiro Takahashi against Toji Makabe. I'm not a big fan of Takahashi. I'm really not. When they had the match against Tanahashi back in, I think it was November, I just couldn't get into that match. And I love Tanahashi. I really do. Again, here, I couldn't get into this match. It's not the worst match. I think I'll put my opinion on the worst match in a little bit, but it's just these two guys just fighting each other. At one point, Makabe grabs his chain, wraps it around his arm. Takahashi dares him to close on him with that arm with the chain, but instead he closes him with the other arm, which I thought was pretty clever. Excuse me. The end of the match, Takahashi tries to do the clothesline with the chain, but Makabe got him, and then he hits him with the powerbomb. 3 count in the victory. And then they announced the participants for the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Looks really good, the competitors. And actually, you know what? I'll pull it up real quick, and I'll tell you guys who the participants are going to be in that huge event. Hopefully they got it up. Okay, here we go. So the participants are Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask 4, Daisuke Taguchi, Kushida, Alex Shelley, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Rocky Romero, Alex Kozlov, Jado, Brian Kendrick, Taichi, Taka Michinoku, Kenny Omega, Titan, Ricochet, and Trent Beretta are the participants in that. I was really surprised that Beretta is going to be in this. And he could be, who knows? He could end up being pretty good in Japan. Who really knows? So after intermission, we come back and Tetsuya Naito comes out. And basically he says that he's coming back to action. He's returning to the ring. And it's going to be at their next big event, June the 22nd. I'll talk about that in a little while. So it'll be pretty good to see him back in action. He was really good before he got injured. And like I said, it sucks that, he gets injured while he's on a roll. He just been really good. Last year he had an unbelievable match with Okada in his first title defense. So, hopefully he'll be as good. Who knows? Maybe he'll be one of the future IWGP Heavyweight Champions. Next up, this, to me, was the second best match of the show. Katsuyori Shibata against Hiroki Goto. What a match this was. They hyped it up. They did a video package of that. They were college roommates. They came into the New Japan dojo. So we get this match, and it's so good. I mean, they get each other with strikes, hits, slaps. They do different moves. Shibata locks in a figure four, but Goto gets out of it. It's just very good, and the ending was so good. Shibata headbutts Goto, and that headbutt hurt Shibata as much as it hurt Goto. And then they slap each other 3 times, basically knock each other out, and the referee counts both men out in the ring. It's a draw, and to me, that was a good ending. That was a good ending to the way that match went, because right there, if they decided to do another match next month, you got okay, we didn't get a winner this time around. We gotta have a winner in this next match. And the way those two went, I thought it was good. Like I said, I thought it was the second best match on the show. And that really says something, considering the 3 matches that are coming up after this. So the next match is the Machine Gun Carl Anderson against Hiroshi Tanahashi. First time on pay-per-view, Tanahashi not with the IWGP title. This was a good match, Tanahashi hit the high fly flow on the outside. Anderson was giving it to him. He was bringing it back. There were a couple times where Anderson almost had the match won. Tanahashi hit a high fly flow cross body block, but Anderson reversed it into a pin, but only for a 2 count. And then the end of the match was good. Anderson tries for his move, the gun stun. I think it's stun gun here in the U.S., but there it's gun stun. But Tanahashi reverses that. He reversed it into a backslide, only got a 2. Anderson tries for the gun stun again, but Tanahashi reversed that. Eventually, Tanahashi just pretty much blocked the move. He hits Anderson with a high fly flow, gets the 3 count and the win. Now, after the match, Prince Devitt and Bad Luck Fale come out and attack Tanahashi. 2-on-1 attack. Carl Anderson's trying to get his wits together, and Tama Tonga, who was seconding him in this match. Now, he's been in Mexico as of late for CMLL. They're just standing there. So Devitt and Anderson, they have this look. Now, I failed to mention this earlier in the review. Devitt has this new hand signal. It's like this. It almost looks like a water gun, but at the same time, if it was in the U.S., there'd be like people going like, oh, that's offensive. Why is this on TV? Blah, 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 blah. So Anderson and Tonga join in on Devitt and Fale, 4-on-1 attack, and basically you got a new foreign heel group with Carl Anderson, who's one of the most improved wrestlers in the last year, Prince Devitt, probably the best junior heavyweight in the world, Tama Tonga, who's improving, and Bad Luck Fale, who, if they can somehow avoid some of his non-wrestling ability, could be a good giant wrestler. And that's a good group. I don't know the name of the group. If somebody does, please put the comment in. Tell me the name of the group. So now we go to the match of the night, in my opinion. This was an incredible match. Shelton Benjamin challenging Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. What a match this was. Benjamin all in on this match. Very methodical in this match, going after the leg of Nakamura because of his finishing move, the Bombaye. And it's just so good, a back and forth match. You get high action, you get wrestling, you get drama. It's so good. There were a couple times where you'd think Benjamin's going to win. He hit the pay dirt, only got a 2 count. He put the ankle lock in, and Nakamura got out of it. He hit, the roundhouse enziguri, only got a 2 count. Nakamura hit a second row Bombaye, only got a 2 count. It was such a good match. And then Nakamura eventually ends it with the Bombaye on Shelton Benjamin, gets the 3 count and the win after such a hard-fought battle. This was the best match of the show, in my opinion. It is worth checking out just to see it, because there were many times where I thought Benjamin was going to win that match, but Nakamura is such an incredible wrestler. I think he finally won me over with that match. Like, he was on the border a couple times, but he finally won me over as a fan with this one match. He's got the charisma, he's got the wrestling ability, he's got the attitude. He's like the alter ego of Hiroshi Tanahashi. If Tanahashi is, this clean-cut, fan-favorite guy, then Nakamura is this arrogant, cocky SOB that can get the job done, backs it up every time. Those two, you can see why. If you've been following New Japan for the last 8-10 years or so, and I've had to do some research, Nakamura and Tanahashi right now, they're creating their own era in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And you could see it, over the last couple of years with the booking and the new ownership. It's just going really well. And Nakamura and Tanahashi easily are right now the faces of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So now we go to the main event. Minoru Suzuki against Kazuchika Okada. First title defense in the second reign of Okada as IWGP Heavyweight Champion. This was a good match. I thought it would be a little bit different. I thought this would probably be a fast-paced match, but it actually wasn't. But it was still a good match. It was a good main event. Basically, the whole story of this match is Suzuki is trying to lock in the Cradle Pile Driver, the Carl Gotch Pile Driver. That's in the original name of the move. You guys know it as the cradle pile driver used by Jerry Lynn. And he tries for most of the match to get it on Okada, but he just cannot do it. Every time he tries, Okada finds a way to block it. And Suzuki stretches the arm, stretches the leg of Okada, doing a really good job. As far as being a challenger goes, it was really well done. And then Okada tries the Rainmaker a couple times on Suzuki, but Suzuki finds a way out of it. And in the end of the match, this was well done. Okada hits a tombstone pile driver on Suzuki, only gets a 2 count. Then, a minute later, he hits a cradle tombstone pile driver. I've never seen that done before. A cradle tombstone pile driver. And then he sets him up, hits him with the Rainmaker short clothesline, gets the 3 count, still IWGP Heavyweight Champion, as I think a lot of people expected, but this was still a good match for Okada in his first title defense in his second reign as IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So, after the match, Toji Makabe comes out. He basically challenges Okada for the next shot at the IWGP Heavyweight title, and that's pretty much your show. Now, one thing I do want to mention before I give you my entire thought on the show. If you do watch the show, pay attention to the entranceway on the first half of the show and the second half of the show. The first half of the show is like doors. They're just doors. You open them and you come out. The second half of the show, it's just like this banner and it just rises up. Just a small detail. So what did I think of the show overall? Well, I thought this was a good show. It's not their best show, but it was still a good show. Like I said, it had 3 or 4 really good matches. Like I said, Benjamin and Nakamura was the best match on the show. Shibata and Goto would be number 2. Number 3, that's a tough one. I would have to say just barely Hanma and Tanaka over Anderson and Tanahashi. The main event was good. The 4-way tag match was a fun match. The one match that I felt was the worst match, and like I said, it just fell flat on its face in my opinion, was Ryosuke Taguchi and Captain New Japan against Prince Devitt and Bad Luck Fale. I thought, after all those years of Devitt and Taguchi as a tag team, I thought this tag match would be good, but it just wasn't. And in the junior heavyweight tag title match, while it was a good match, you've seen it before, it could have been better. But all in all, I like this show. It is worth a watch. Now, the next pay-per-view that they are going to have is June the 22nd. It's called Dominion. Like I said, Tetsuya Naito is going to return on that show. And my guess for right now, is that Toji Makabe will face Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title. But like I said, that's just my guess. But this was a good show. Definitely check it out. Best match was Benjamin and Nakamura. It is worth your time watching.